Hello and welcome to episode 60 of the Game Bowl Podcast, your weekly dose of lightning in a bottle. I am your host, Grant. Joining me here today, my wonderful co-host, Brett. How are you doing?
I'm tired as always.
Right.
For whatever reason, like we could, record at 5 o'clock Eastern time,
Just
and this podcast, and I would still be tired. I like the second we're like, okay, ready to go. I'm just like tired. Poor Ryan over here though. It's
Oh
2
yeah,
a.m. for
2
him, so
a.m.
I have no reason to complain.
He's
I'm
a
fine. I'm completely awake. I'm nocturnal, obviously.
Oh God, I don't know how.
But
In my
yeah,
in my younger years, I could definitely do it, but no way now.
yeah. The other guy here is Ryan, our foreign friend who is a nocturnal being, as we already stated. So Ryan, how you doing? Good to have
I'm
you on.
doing pretty good, actually. I'm not feeling tired at all, feeling quite
Wow.
energetic. I'm excited for my second podcast.
Oh,
The
this is only your second one.
swellest man in all of England.
The swellest.
Wales. Oh,
Oh God, I'm so
oh,
sorry.
my
Wales.
feelings.
Oh, Brett, come on, aren't you
Oh,
like part Welsh or
I'm
something?
like 2% Welsh. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
um, yeah, we'll get into everyone's origins later on
Later.
our.
I have to extensively research everyone.
Yeah, that's a
Trying to
great
make that
idea.
mistake again.
But
uh,
had to.
uh, but yeah, Ryan is also a sheep if you're watching on Twitch,
I
and
am a Welshman and I love my sheep.
he likes his sheep. Uh, let's continue on, shall we?
Of course.
Okay. Again, this is the Game Bowl Podcast, your weekly dose of lightning in a bottle. Post to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday, the official podcast of thegamebowl.com. Let's go ahead and jump right into what we're playing. As always, we start off with what we're playing. So, Ryan, why don't you go first?
Well, I've played a couple of games recently. Not new games, but UK Watch is coming out in Europe soon. I got my hands on that quite early. Um, and I've been playing Super Meat Boy. I've completed that last night. I don't think I've ever been so happy to complete a game.
Super Meat Boy is so fun.
It was so good. It was one of the hardest games I played, but it
Yeah.
was just so good. And as always, I've been on Rocket League.
Mm.
Shout out to the goat,
Oh, I
Rocket.
forgot to write Rocket League down. How could I forget?
What do you think of Rocket League, Ryan? I've watched the first episode of the anime, and
Oh, so you mean UK Watch?
yes, of course.
I was
I,
like,
for,
there's a
for a
Rocket League
second when you said
anime.
that, I couldn't tell if you saying Yokai Watch as in like the Pokemon rival or like a entirely different game. I was like, oh geez, I don't know what this is. But whenever I go to my local GameStop, one of the workers there is really into it, and there have been times because I'm not really as into Pokemon anymore. There have been times where like this. I've tried the demo and it was pretty interesting. The battles, it seems to be not tremendously more deep than Pokemon, but there seems to be more going on. It's more, I guess, action oriented, and there's more mechanics to it than just clicking A and choosing the move. But overall, what do you think of the game?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Pokemon, and so I was really interested in playing UK Watch, and I did really enjoy it. I don't think it's a successor to Pokemon that a lot of people have been casting it as because I think Pokemon's an entirely different game, really. UK Watch does have a lot of similarities, but it's different. Like the combat, like you said, you're a lot more engaged in the combat. You're a lot
Mhm.
more switching around and fast paced rather than telling them what attack to move. And
Right.
it had side quests and it has a bit more of a story. But I think like instead of combat, you're more active in it. But at the same time, if you're against like a weaker opponent, you can just sit back and your little creatures are automated in their attacks. You can structure your attack and rotate and make them do the special attacks. But if you're against weaker opposition, you can just sit back and let them do their own thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
that has its both positives and negatives really. But if you compare it to Pokemon, I think Pokemon has more depth because it's got the whole like types and the attacks, and you can level
Yeah.
up and evolve obviously. So I don't think it's going to replace Pokemon like some people have said, but I think I can see why Japan is so
Yeah,
obsessed with
it's
UK
it's
Watch.
massive in
Hmm.
Japan.
Hmm.
I would love to see how Pokemon and Yokai Watch compare. And to be fair, this is the first game over here that we're getting, and I think they're on their probably third or fourth. maybe even fifth, like maybe even their first spin-off, the Yokai Watch game. So, I'm sure they've added more, I guess, spirit or yokai. I guess there's the spirits or whatever they are,
Yeah,
and maybe more battle mechanics. I mean, because Pokemon when that first started off, that wasn't tremendously deep, and then they added, uh, types and just this whole macro uh, this meta of stuff to manage, and it's become much deeper than it did in say like 1997. So we'll see. I hope to see this franchise continue to come over here and perhaps maybe be more not accessible, but maybe be longer in the legs because it'll be more interesting and more engaging as a whole.
yeah. I did I would? I'm looking forward to the sequel because I'm sure they'll bring the sequel over and have success. But one thing I did notice about the game is it, and it's not a surprise really, is it's obviously trying to appeal to a young audience.
Yep.
They're all
Mhm.
like young cheesy jokes. I
Yeah.
think Nintendo tried to make Pokemon more young audience, but I still think Nintendo is more accessible to an older audience than UK watches. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because we grew up with the original, Gen 1, Gen 2, so we still have that attachment. And then, of course, Gen 7, whatever we're on now, are the younger kids, first generation. I know at my job, one of the kids is like, he's obsessed with Yokai Watch, and he's always telling me about it. And I've seen an episode of the anime, and it was nice. And I don't plan on watching any more of it. But it was cute. I could definitely see the appeal. That if I were a young kid, I would totally be into it. And he's the kid has played Pokemon, but he's really into Yokai Watch.
yeah, I'm not surprised. It is like I said, like you said, if I was a kid now and it was on, I think I would be obsessed with it.
Oh,
But
absolutely, definitely.
Mhm.
Kyle
um,
says I think there are 3 or 4 games in the series now in Japan. I'm gonna look this up now.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
I think they read that it was actually a spin-off for it already, and there's a movie out for it. So it's a lot further ahead in Japan than it is here.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. This is on Wikipedia. The always reliable source. Video games. So
Most reliable source.
let's see. The first one was released in I guess 2013 in Japan, and then in 2014 they Level 5 filed the trademark in the U.S. for Yokai Watch. And then released it in November of 2015. Yokai Watch 2 was out in 2014 in Japan. And then there's a spin-off game, Yokai Watch Busters, and that was released last July. And then now it is, I guess, announced. The two games were announced together. There was Yokai Watch Busters, the spin-off, and then there's Yokai Watch 3, which added, I guess, a second main character you can play as. And this was released in, I don't know, I guess it's coming out in a few months in Japan. So Yokai
Okay.
Watch 3, and then let's see, just to quickly. So yeah, there's Yokai Watch 2, Yokai Watch 3 coming out in a few months, and then there's Yokai Watch Busters, and then there's Yokai Watch Dance, Just Dance Special Version, which is
Wow.
co-developed and published by Ubisoft.
Oh my
That sounds
God.
like a wild
And then
time.
there's Yokai Watch Three Kingdoms. Yeah, it goes on and on. So it's quite massive in Japan.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Brett, what have you been up to?
I have been playing the usual in MLB Show and Final Fantasy 14. So,
Mm.
Friday hit, and I was like, I wanna, because I just beat Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 over last week. Loved it, and I was like, I've played almost exclusively JRPGs and Shin Megami Tensei for a while, with the occasional MLB, and I wanted to go for a shorter game. So I was like, you know what? Gears 4 coming out. Why not play Gears 2? I was a decent amount of time into it, and that quickly, I just quickly abandoned that idea. I quickly jumped to the ship because uh, it's I was in a boss fight that was just really clunky. Like um, I would try and run into like the mouth of this boss. It's like shoot its, I guess, like gums, and need to throw a grenade, and it's I don't even know, like part of its mouth, and then it's kind of probably like a typical three boss, like a three-part thing where you go and shoot, come back out, go and shoot, come back out, three times. Um, and I just kept getting caught on like a box, and then uh, I wouldn't get out in time, and then I would throw the grenade like in the spot, and it wouldn't register, like it was clearly going through in the mouth, and I was just chucking grenades as many as I could and trying to be as accurate as possible. It just wasn't working. It's like, all right, screw this, I'm not playing it. And then finishing Quantum Break, I was like, it comes with Alan Wake, and I've never played that, so I wanted to play it, but I got caught up in Final Fantasy 14. So yeah, I have been doing the Alexander raid for the most part, and to put it into Destiny terms to make it easier for you, it's you can only when you there's it's broken up into four parts. It's Alexander Gordius, which is like the easier part. It's like you need lower level equipment to do it, and then there's Alexander Midas, which has better loot, and you need higher level gear to enter. And then there's Savage, which is basically the hard mode. Um, and you can only get one loot that drops, and you can only get it once per week. So now I'm just waiting on that reset so I can start doing the raid again and get even more loot, so I can make my main character better. So it's that process like in Destiny. You do the raid once a week, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? There's not much else to do until that reset. Just because like I'm done the main story, and I'm just grinding for currency to upgrade my other characters. So it's quite good. But as of tomorrow, I'm gonna be playing a few other games, so I'm excited for that. Checking the comments. Jason says, "I don't trust Yokai. They made Bill lose his job." And then John, oh hey John, thank you for stopping by.
Hi, John.
And then oh yeah, Cody says that's crazy. You beat the raid before you beat Titan Extreme. I guess that just goes to show what the better players are. Yeah, there's a certain trial. It's like a summon in Final Fantasy. And it's just a pain in the butt because he has an AoE attack where he'll knock you off the edge and you die, and you just pretty much just have to be aware. And I've been trying it so many times now, and I finally got a team that beat it last night. And the main reason I do it at this point, because I don't need to, is you can get a mount. I think there are two mounts you can get from it, but such a small chance. So really, it's not worth it. But I figure if I can run this fight just once a week, when I have no other priorities in Final Fantasy 14, then why not? It's better than doing nothing. So,
Hmm.
anyways, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Um, all right, so I finally got Quantum Break a couple weeks after it came out.
Woo!
Yeah, and I'm loving it so far.
Nice, nice.
I just beat. Let me think. So I think I'm about halfway through the third TV episode thing. So I beat Act
Okay.
Three.
Oh, nice.
Um, so yeah, I'm on the TV show that bridges Act Three and Four. Um, so yeah, the only like real issues that I have are like kind of small. Like I kind of one thing is I feel like like sometimes it takes too many bullets to kill someone, especially at long range. I notice that. Um, and then there's just like this other tiny thing that's like sometimes when you know how like the story's kind of told from the main character Jack is like talking to sort of an interviewer like
Mm.
throughout the whole thing at times.
Yeah, yeah.
So like sometimes when I do that and then I'll like move ahead too quickly and then the voices will like overlap. Um
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's something that really bugged me too.
yeah, I was just like
And like, um, it's one of those situations where like, because there were like those parts where you could like view something that happened in the past, and like
yeah,
if you
like
miss it, you
yeah,
can
like
watch it
that.
again.
Right.
But in this case, like you miss a dialogue, and you're like, well, what do they say? And like it is overlapping, so it's like I can't process two conversations at once. Um, and it's That was definitely annoying. So there would be times if Jack was narrating whatever was going on in the interview. I think it was with Claire. Um, I would just stop entirely, just until I knew he was finished, and then I would move on,
Yeah.
so I could get that in that moment that character to character conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of what I started doing, but at the beginning, it's definitely a problem I ran into. But those are the only really things I have wrong with it. I love the not only of the powers, like you use them in combat. I use them all. Like I was kind of surprised at how much I use them because sometimes in a lot of games where they give you all these cool powers and then I just kind of use
Like
one.
some more powerful than others.
Yeah, like I only use a couple. But in this one, I end up using them all. Like there was one where I was trying to escape this building, and then I was going through this entire like field of guys, and I just used like all my powers like multiple times because the refresh rate is it keeps it from being like you just have too much power.
Yeah,
Um,
it's convenient because it's not on like a global cooldown where like
yeah,
say you use time shield and then you have to wait for that to recover so you can use say time blast or whatever. Like it's everything's individual, so you
right.
can chain together attacks how you see fit, and just it's really
And
convenient.
yeah, not every power is like only one time usage for it to like cool down. Like I know the dash is kind of like you get two usages out of one charge. Um,
Hmm.
And then, so yeah, I think that's really cool. But not only how you can use it in combat, but how you can affect your environment in some, not really platforming stuff, but just kind of how you can change the world in order to get around. I think is really cool and way to use it. Like one concern I had about it going in was like how like time travel again, like how it might feel overpowered just because you can kind of control time, like completely just stop all your enemies. But again, because of the cooldowns and stuff, it's not. And then there are also enemies that aren't really affected by your sort of like time
Yeah, they
slowdown.
have like specialized equipment that allows
Yeah,
them to move freely through, and some of them are a pain in the butt to kill. Like, but I forget the names of these enemies, but
yeah, I don't remember the names. I
they
just
they can take quite a number of shots to kill. But what do you think of the TV show
yeah, I
aspect?
was gonna say, I like the production quality really isn't that good, but I actually really like it.
It's like it's fun. Like
Yeah, like
it's not
it's
HBO or
no, it's
like AMC or something,
like
but
it's a lot more interesting than I thought it would be.
yeah, and it definitely helps they have some quality actors in there.
Yeah, and I love how the actors like they look exactly the same as they do in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do
And
you
like
guys see this as a format in future games, or do you think it's just a one-off?
I
um,
I don't know. I mean, I think it possibly could start a trend. I'm sure it's like more expensive to do it like this, or maybe not. I don't know how much like games compared to movies make or take to make. But I don't know. Like, I definitely do think it works here, just because it kind of gives you because the game has a really cinematic feel to it. Um,
mhm.
so I kind of think that having those parts broken up just sort of adds to the whole experience because it's just like time for you to like just kind of sit down and like gather more information that isn't in the game and like kind of like wraps up some things. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I really like how they did that, even though like the quality isn't the greatest.
Yeah, it definitely helps that they have Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones and The Wire,
Yeah,
Sean Ashmore,
yeah, they have good
uh,
actors.
yeah, all these actors that people will know. And I think my favorite thing about the show itself, aside from the fact like it's just cheesy and fun, like it has like stupid one-liners,
Yeah,
um, but like the fact that like it brings other characters to life.
right.
Say a character like Charlie or Liam Burke. Um, they
Right.
don't really. They're not as big of a role in the
Yeah,
game's main
that's a really good
story.
point.
But you see some documents exchange emails or voicemails or whatever, and it's like okay, but the fact that the TV show is there and it kind of delves into their stories, it helps to flesh it out more, and you feel a closer connection to these characters.
Right.
I know Telltale and oh god, is it Lionsgate? I think
Hmm.
they were working on like a
Yeah, I
super
think
show or
that's right.
something.
I feel like I heard something about that.
Yeah, I would like to see at least one more, you know, iteration of some kind of TV show integration because I think Quantum Break did it well. Um, and it kind of fits with the premise and just the overall direction. Like I would just hate to see it as a one and done. So we'll see, and whatever that alleged Telltale thing was, we'll see when that comes out, probably in maybe a year or two. But I would like to see it done more, and it not being a huge trend, but
Yeah,
something that people
maybe a couple games per
cleverly
bar.
integrate and kind of combine the two.
Hmm. And then one last thing I'll say on it, like one of the reasons I was super excited for Quantum Break because it was a linear game, like just so much open world fatigue. I haven't played a linear game since what I mean, like what's like the last major linear game that came out? Like I honestly don't even remember.
I
Like
I
think it
that's
was
how
alright actually.
that's how big an issue it is. Like I was like, yeah, it's a linear game, but I can't tell you like how much. Like I didn't even like I knew I missed linear games. I didn't realize I missed it that much. Just like
It's
story
so
based
refreshing.
stuff.
Like
Yeah, it's super refreshing.
I like open world games, but I'm sick of them.
Yeah,
I
because I
think
was
The
just
Last
like
of Us was the last linear game I played.
Oh
I th-
Jesus!
like
That's a long time ago, yeah.
no, like I'm legitimately trying to remember what it was.
I
Because I have no idea.
Nathan Drake collection.
No, I'm not counting that though.
Like yeah, and that's the thing. Like it's a remaster, like original game. That came out in the last 2 years, Last of Us. But like,
Like I mean, Tomb Raider is semi-linear,
I,
but
I would I would assume Rise is more open world than uh the Tomb
yeah,
Raider
it definitely
was.
is. But like, it's still like it's well, like Rise kind of has like have you played it, Brett?
No, I have it
Oh,
adapted. I just haven't found time to play it.
okay. Well, yeah. So you kind of go through these like there are sections of it are linear, but then like they open up. There's like a couple like hub things where you can have like side quests and stuff.
Hmm.
So I did appreciate Tomb Raider for at least having some like linear stuff in it and focus on storytelling. Um, but
I think
yeah,
actually ignoring platformers and point and clicks, I think the last linear game I played is Killzone Shadowfall.
Holy
I really
hell!
can't think of anything else.
I
hey, first half of Killzone Shadowfall was great. Second half, not so much.
I
Yeah.
played two missions. I was like, listen, I love Killzone 3 and 2 and
Oh, I love
Mercenary on
Killzone
Vita,
2.
but not crazy about this Shadowfall. Oh well.
Yeah,
See, I thought Shadowfall was better than Killzone 3. I really didn't like Killzone 3.
Oh man,
I
Killzone 3
really
is.
love Shadowfall to be honest, because I thought the multiplayer was super
See,
underrated.
I didn't play the multiplayer. It was like $10 on Groupon. I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Play it for two missions, and like I was just like, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. I think Killzone Mercenary on Vita is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, I
I,
heard
I
good
played it
things.
quite extensively, and the multiplayer too. Like it was competent.
But yeah, that's what I'm playing, and Rocket League. Kind
Of
of mentioned
course, of course.
that. So yeah, Quantum Break, great game. Play it.
Yeah, definitely.
Time for the news storm. Boom.
Boom.
First up, Mafia 3 has a release date.
Ooh.
Loading up the story. 2K's crime game Mafia 3 will launch on October 7th, the publisher announced today, while also confirming pre-order bonuses and various special edition versions of the game.
Today, as
Additionally,
in April 19th. So last week.
yeah, last week. Yeah, this is the oldest story. Um, Additionally, a new trailer has been released providing a look in at the game's 60s set game story and characters. Yeah, Mafia 3.
I've never played Mafia, but
Me neither.
I really liked that trailer. It gave me a series mob film like Goodfellas vibe, and I just thought it was really cool. The music and just like the visuals and everything. It's just in that 1960s, crime stuff. It just I'll have to watch it again because I haven't watched it since last week, so it's not particularly fresh in my mind. But I was really impressed by it, and I thought it was really cool. Like it definitely piqued my interest.
Hmm.
Like you said, I didn't play any previous Mafia games, but I think when the first one came out, there was a lot of games like that, like set in that kind of time. But
Mhm.
now I don't think
Like
there's that many games
Godfather,
at all. Yeah, exactly. But now there's very few
Scarface.
games, so now I'm a bit more refreshed from by the genre, and I probably would like to pick it up because it's like a new thing, bit more original.
Yeah. Do we know if it's open world?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I
I love open
know.
world.
Kyle says Mafia is an absolutely fantastic series. I know Kyle and Jake. I know Kyle's really excited for Mafia 3, and I know Jake's had some history with Mafia, so again, it's definitely piqued my interest. We'll have to see. I would like to see some gameplay first, but it's
Yeah,
really cool to play those. Driving around in a 1960s car and uh, use some of those guns and play in New Orleans and everything. So, just a quick like story synopsis is he plays Lincoln Clay, a mixed race man who grew up an orphan and fought in the Vietnam War before finding his way to New Orleans. And the game places a lot of emphasis on depicting the racism and prejudice against black people that was present in the Deep South in 1968, the year the game takes place. And developer Hangar 13 says the game does not intend to sensationalize racism. Be it on PS4, Xbox One, PC. And there, if you're curious, there's like the $80 edition and then a $150 edition. I'm not sure what comes in each.
things.
Yeah, physical stuff. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm probably gonna watch the trailer after the podcast just to kind of refresh myself. But it looks. I think I appreciate the realism because I mean that's a sensitive time in in American history
Darren.
for sure. And if they can effectively and maturely tackle that, um, I like it'll help build that world even more. So I'm curious to see how it'll turn out.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it myself. Like you guys hadn't played any of the games, but I had heard some good things about it. Sort of the original story that you were talking about, and then just sort of the environment is kind of unique that not many games have used. So that could make it interesting. I probably will watch a trailer after this too, just because I don't really know too much about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last time I played, I think Infamous 2 took place in, they call it New Marais, but it was
Yeah, it's New
basically New
Orleans.
Orleans,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. So, I mean, obviously this is a different timeline and more realistic and everything. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
Next up, Mirror's Edge Catalyst has been delayed.
So I actually
Um,
have to yawn, but I'm just gonna say yawn. I don't care for Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
hey.
But yeah, I'm gonna read the story quickly. Um, the release of Mirror's Edge Catalyst has been pushed back 2 weeks. The developer Dice said today, which was April 21st. So that was late last week. Uh, Catalyst is now out June 7th in North America and June 9th in Europe, and it was previously scheduled to be out on May 24th and May 26th, respectively, in the two areas. And in a post on the official site, design director Eric Od-
Odell Dahl.
Odell, I'm having trouble reading today.
Well, I
Odell
mean, I don't blame you on that one.
stated that the game's social play features, things like creating time trials, leaderboards, and so on, are a key part of the game, and DICE is making use of a quote brand new online technology to power all this, and it's part of what's going to be tested in the closed beta. And the delay will afford DICE the necessary time to make the adjustments based on the feedback. This comes from Odell. We want quote we want to make sure we have the opportunity and time to address player feedback from the closed beta. That is why we will give ourselves a bit more time to perfect the game with a new release date for Mirror's Edge Catalyst for June 7th and June 9th. We're confident those extra 2 weeks will make the game as amazing as possible for you, the players. And the beta is actually, I believe it's a closed beta. It's actually kicked off already. It started April 22nd, and I don't know when it ends, but um, I'm not sure if it's multiplayer beta or what.
It's
But
single player. I think they just give you like a section of the game to play.
okay, yeah, I never played the original Mirror's Edge, so I personally have no interest in this one. But
I played a bit of it and it
Yeah,
was
so did I.
quite insane. But it's like I said, it's sandwiched between Uncharted 4 and No Man's Sky, and those are the two games that are going to be taking up my interest in that
For
time
the
period,
next
to be honest.
6 years.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's sandwiched between two of the biggest games of the year, so I don't think I'm gonna get around to it, to be honest.
Yeah. I hope the game does do well because I mean it's. I remember people were clamoring for either a some kind of sequel to Mirror's Edge because people love it so much, and we finally got it. I guess 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, um, and it's awesome. And we're finally getting it. It's only less than 2 months away now at this point. So we'll see. But I have no interest in it. But if you do, fantastic.
Yeah,
One
I
thing would make me
played.
more interested. Sorry, Grant, you go.
Oh, no, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, all I was going to say is one thing would make me more interested. The developer was talking about the possibility of putting it in virtual reality, and I think this is
Oh,
one of the perfect games for
yeah,
virtual
but I feel
reality.
like I would throw up.
Oh, true. But if you've
Hardcore.
got
That
strong
would be something
stomach,
else.
That would be really cool though. But yeah, I played the original Mirror's Edge. Like I didn't play it much at all. I think I played it for like the first hour or two. It's just the one thing that like kind of made me stop playing it was that the control scheme for some reason just felt really awkward to me. Like I just couldn't remember like moves and stuff. Like it's not even that complicated a game. It's just kind of how the controls were set up. I was not a fan of. Um,
yeah, I
but
agree.
yeah, I think the the idea is cool. Like the unique parkour games. Like there isn't really much like that. I know. What was it? Dying Light, right?
Yeah, I had some
Yeah,
parkour
Dying
to it,
Light had some parkour elements in it. Um,
albeit crappy Assassin's Creed.
yeah, Assassin's Creed.
They did
Um,
just some serious fixing on that
yeah, at least
on the
from
free running.
first person perspective.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
First
kind
person
of
is something
remember
else.
Mirror's Edge as a game that came out and then no one really noticed it, and then like a couple years later they're like, oh yeah, this game is actually really good.
Yeah, I remember. I heard people talking about it once. It's like, oh, this game's so good, but it's like 4 hours. It's like, oh, like okay.
Yeah, and it's super short.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I think it was a pretty early game game in that last generation.
yeah, it was. But the art style is gorgeous in it, especially in the new one. Looks super good on uh, Xbox One, PS4.
Do you know if it's like in the same time, like if it's the same character as the first
Yeah,
game?
it's the same character.
Okay,
But yeah, Mirror's Edge.
sweet deal.
Next up, Quantum Break developer Remedy is already working on a new game, according to a report. Um, it looks like Quantum Break and Alan Wake developer Remedy Entertainment is deep into the development of an unannounced new game. Online resumes for two Remedy developers claim work has already been underway on the project since August of 2015, suggesting that the title has been in the works for almost 9 months.
Hmm.
Yeah. So don't really know what it is, but
Yeah,
I'm
just
happy
want to
that you're making.
quickly finish up the story. Game Center Online and VideoGamer.com spotted the LinkedIn profiles, which are for the game's lead design and executive producer, but there have been no further details about the game mentioned in these profiles. And apparently, Remedy in the past has said that they are open to the idea of returning to Alan Wake. And Sam Lake, the creative director at Remedy, Sam Lake, recently teased that a future Remedy title might include multiplayer. And with their track record, they've primarily been single player games. And earlier this month, apparently, Lake said Remedy has all kinds of ideas floating around for future games, some of which involve creative multiplayer
DJ
or
Brett.
discussions with.
It was like player. It
Oh
was pretty
no!
funny.
Oh no! I'm gonna change
DJ
my mic.
Brett is back, but it's okay.
Let me change my mic then real quickly. Let's see. That should be better. Um. Anyways, the story continue. Where was I? Oh, the story continues. From Lake. Certainly, there are discussions about multiplayer. There are discussions about all kinds of ideas. We want to evolve with the times as well, try out new things that push ourselves, and always come back and question What is a Remedy game, and how can we evolve it into something even cooler?
Did you see, Brett, that so in the beginning of Quantum Break, I think you're walking through, you're making your way to the dry docks, and then, and somewhere in there, there's a book that says like like, I think it's Liam Burke's, I think his wife, it was like to whatever her name was from Alan Wake. So
Oh,
apparently,
really?
yeah, so apparently those like worlds are connected that his wife was in Alan Wake. I didn't know that because I didn't play Alan Wake, but I was watching someone play through it and then noticed that, and I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's I forget which part of the game it is, but it's it's one of those like where time like slows to a crawl, and like you hear the people talking like blah blah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like there's someone playing Alan Wake on PC. You can see it, and they're like, "Oh, that Alan Wake is so cool." It's just a little touch. Like
That's cool.
I mean, he's poking fun, but yeah, I remember there was God, there was a story of I think Polygon a year ago maybe, something along the lines. I'm gonna look this up. Like either an Alan Wake 2 or some kind of report. Like a sequel's in the works. Oh, here we go. This is from April of last year. Actually, almost a year ago. And the headline is Introducing the Alan Wake 2 You Will Never Play. Let's see. Just reading real quickly. Just kind of skimming through it. But I remember something along the lines like it was in the process or like they had ideas for it, but it didn't quite work out. So Remedy has a working prototype, one it created about 5 years ago to show off Alan Wake 2. It used that prototype to create a pitch video to shop around the potential publishers, two potential publishers. Lake said the video is not meant to be the opening of the sequel, but a taste of what was to come. It's more like a mood piece, he says, the high level thematic elements of what's there. Clearly, in the prototype, we see Alan Wake himself as a more experienced player and the secret war against the forces of darkness. So yeah, it seemed like this was a more of a prototype thing. I think it was like a report or something. It's a lengthier news story if you want to read it, and it kind of goes into Alan Wake 2 to excuse me Quantum Break. So if you want to check that out, that's on just type in like Polygon Alan Wake. It should be one of the first links that comes up. I for whatever reason I just thought of that real quickly. So yeah,
Interesting.
I I'd be very curious to see what Remedy would do if they were to tackle multiplayer. Um, I mean, obviously they have some strong narratives with Quantum Break and Alan Wake and Max Payne, and it will be refreshing, I'm sure, for them to change it up and see what else they can do that's not just a single player thing.
Hmm. Yeah. Next up, Destiny's fall expansion release date might have been discovered. Um, with Destiny 2 launching in 2017, players of the current game can expect a new expansion to release this year, and now we may know exactly when that expansion will release thanks to a clue uncovered by Destiny fans via Eurogamer. Reddit user Rezel Azir posted a walkthrough on how to find the new Grimoire lore card only 16 minutes after said update went live. This would have required the players to download the update, complete a Prison of Elders run, and post about it in that time. The walkthrough detailed where players could find the new piece of lore, which contained information about a character named Rezel Azir. You can see the card for yourself. Uh, the account was deleted, but other users found a previously posted Latin message, which translated to the 20th day of the ninth month. It is coming forward to the stars. If the message is legitimate, it seems that players can expect something on September 20th, which seems likely to be the next big expansion. Both Destiny and The Taken King released in September of their respective years. So yeah, since that point that both Destiny and Taken King were released in September, I kind of feel like that's probably right,
Yeah,
at least in the
I
ballpark.
know Oh God, I think John retweeted it. I think Bungie tweeted something today. Like announcement coming soon. I'm not sure if it was related to this or just something else entirely. So I'm not exactly sure. But I actually had no idea about this. So this is the first time I'm hearing of this. Um, it's interesting though. It seems to be the model they're going for with big expansion and then maybe DLC. Next game, that cycle. Um, so we'll see. I just, I mean, I loved Taken King, so it's awesome. If you can get an experience like that again with whatever the next expansion might be, fantastic. My only worry is though its longevity was not the best. It was great to play for 2 to 3 months, but then you kind of capped out your gear, and it's like, well, what do I really have to work for at this point? And I've moved on from Destiny. I'm never going back to it again. So whatever the expansion is to add, if this is real, I have no interest in it. But it's a game that's supposed to be supported for quite a number of years. So we'll see. In September, maybe they announce something at E3. We'll see.
One thing I'm confused about with all these expansion packs coming out, and yet we've got Destiny 2 coming out next year. Will Destiny 2 work with previous games, or will it be
Yeah,
start from scratch? Or
that's been my big question throughout like this whole Destiny like sort of franchise that they've been talking about. Like, I don't understand how you can launch a new game and still make it accessible to like the new users without punishing the other users for like putting hundreds of hours into their game and then like not having them be as strong in the next game or having to restart. So, like, I don't know how that's gonna completely work. Um, like like new players, are they going to start at level 0 or are they going to start where like the old players are? Like it's just don't really know.
Yeah.
exactly?
I know they proposed, say Destiny 3 or maybe even 4 is out. They kind of gave the idea that an original character you made in Destiny 1, vanilla Destiny, you can play it through the entirety. Um, but that it is difficult because maybe I don't know how they're gonna go about say someone light level 300 and somebody level 1 in Destiny 2. Like, what are they? Does that light level 300 person, does their gear become, I guess, degraded because of potentially new gear that's in Destiny 2, that it's kind of a reset, but not really? Like, it's not as much of a reset as it would be an entirely new um, progression thing for an entirely new player. It's going to be difficult come next year when they have to kind of work that out. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully it works out for the best for everybody. But you hate to push people away who've been playing since Vanilla Destiny, but you want to make it accessible
Yeah, I
for
just
newcomers. Like it's a tough,
yeah, it's gonna be
tough
hard
thing.
to sort of walk that tightrope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have about it. You know, when Taken King came out, I did not like Destiny at all before Taken King was out, and then it came out, and then I started getting into it because everyone started playing it again, and then you guys guilted me into buying it. Um, uh, but yeah, I'm depending on like what kind of content they add, I may or may not get the new big expansion. Um, but we'll have to see. I might just honestly wait for the next installment of Destiny because I feel like they'll fix a lot more things than they can in an expansion.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, what I want to be fixed the most is, um, well, I guess say Destiny 2 comes out, like, is there going to be entirely new grimoire cards and new, I guess, new lore that would come with the next game? Is that going to be connected to the first game and everything? Like it'll be weird. I think that's my. It's not a the biggest concern for the game itself, objectively, but for me, that's my biggest concern. They definitely improved upon the story with the Teen King. It was more focused and more cohesive.
Yeah.
But I
Like Taken King did fix a lot of the problems I have with it,
Yeah,
but there's still quite a bit that can be improved.
yeah, definitely. I just we'll see with this expansion, and maybe this expansion kind of hints at what the future holds for Destiny 2 and stuff. We'll see in half a year.
Yeah. Uh, Next up, The Walking Dead game season 3 details have been teased, and a returning character has been confirmed. Um,
Ooh.
Telltale season 3 of The Walking Dead is expected to kick off this year, and now Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman has teased some details about the upcoming season, including returning character Clementine. In a video from IGN, Kirkman talked about the trust that he has in Telltale and the writers it uses to expand the world of his zombie apocalypse series. Additionally, he talked about where season 3 fits in the series timeline. Quote, season 3 of the Telltale series is really exciting to me just because of the way that the timeline works. Season 3 will actually be getting pretty close to where we are in the comics currently. Like the books that are coming out now are roughly in the same time frame that season 3 will be in. He explained there's a lot of really cool, exciting things that coming that I don't think people will expect. And then another quote from him: "We'll be checking in on Clementine again, so we'll be seeing her, seeing where she's at, and what's going on with her, which is going to be great." Kirkman said, stopping short of confirming what role she'll play in the third season. So one thing I think that this might mean, like they confirmed her return, but maybe you won't play as her.
That's why I got it for it too. Yeah.
Um, yeah, just because like he wouldn't confirm that, so I kind of feel like like she'll be there for sure and kind of play a major role, but
She's like
you,
sitting in a corner, like she's like a hermit. Like I've seen what the zombies do. Like
uh,
you don't want to go out there. Like just has like a small cameo. Really, it's awesome that we're getting season 3 this year.
I love The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Oh, so good.
it's so good.
Season 1 was like the most emotional game I've ever played. Still season 2. Season 2 is a step down, Brett.
I know. But honestly, I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm just kind of like ranting, not ranting, like kind of saying whatever comes to my mind, but there's nothing to say.
What I found really interesting about it was he said it's going to be caught up with the comic books, so that means there's going to be a huge time jump.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
How
Clementine's
far
probably
back
going to be
are
an
the
adult.
how far back is season 2 from the
But
comics where they were?
it's right near the beginning of the outbreak, really, isn't it? Because Clementine's not much older in the second one than she is in the
Yeah,
first
that's
one.
true.
I mean, I don't follow the comics, so I can't speak to it. But um, like, do we know, how far into the future, whatever the current issue is or the season is for the comics, like in comparison to the game?
I don't read the comics either, but I do know a little bit because I watched the TV show, and I think it's at least a few years ahead. I don't know
Okay.
exactly how many, but it's a few years.
Like I would hate to see, like 10 years ahead would be weird. Because like I still want to see that Clementine that we've grown attached to, that young kid. But you could understand if she grew older and not like to her 20s, but her later teens, and like it's you're still familiar with her, but she's definitely gone through some changes. It's we'll see. I mean, yeah, I definitely trust. I mean, even Kirkman himself trusts the Telltale and the writers, so I trust them too. And it'll be really interesting to see her not relegated, but given a different role instead of like both playing as her and kind of seeing through her eyes and everything. It'll be
Uh,
interesting.
yeah.
Definitely.
Um,
Kyle says they're still following Clementine. We'll have to create 5 different beginnings. And Jason says, I just
Oh,
finished
that's
season
actually an
one.
interesting because
I'm not s-
since season 2 had different endings, but then how will like Clementine?
Oh, that's right.
Well, if she's only a minor character, they could probably fit it in because am I right in saying that in every single ending she still had the baby?
Oh
No,
gosh, I
No?
no,
don't.
that's not. Is it? No, wait. Let
I know
me
she ends up
think.
with different people because
So
she can
wait,
end up
so
with
wait before we get
Here,
into
spoilers, real quick.
spoilers.
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 Sorry, yeah.
We gotta nail this
Spoilers
down.
for Walking Dead season 2,
Yeah.
the game.
Run away now if you haven't seen it.
All
Yeah.
right, so Brett, what did you choose at the end?
Oh God. I went with Kenny
Okay, did you
back.
have the baby?
Oh, I think so. We went back to. No, no. I'm sorry. I went with the girl. Back
Okay,
to.
and you went back to like the fortress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Ryan, what did you do?
Um, well, the girl tricked me into thinking Kenny had gone crazy, so I killed Kenny. Then I found out what she did, so then I
I killed.
abandoned her. So I went by myself.
Yeah, so did I. That's what I did. And I had the baby, and then you're like walking through the field.
That's it, yeah.
That was the dumbest ending.
And so, wait, it does. I think doesn't like a family come up at one point. This might be the ending, or it might be
For
it's
your ending,
before
yeah,
it.
Brett, you do like because for
Like a new
I
family
like
comes up, and then like we just need like shelter or something.
yeah, I watched your ending, Brett, and it was like so I think so like you get there, and then like this family comes up on you, and they're like asking if they can stay with you in
Oh, and
that
then you have to
place.
decide like yes or no.
Yeah, and then
Okay, it's starting to come back to me now.
yeah, and then I read that if you pick the Kenny, like if you go with Kenny, like you don't kill him and then you go with Kenny, I think that so like they make it to that camp that they were going to this whole time, and then like but they don't have enough room, so then Kenny like offers to only have like the kids go in, so
Okay.
you can choose to go in the camp or you can choose to stay with Kenny.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's like 6 different endings you can have, I'm pretty sure. So that will be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I
see.
feel like now, yeah, like they can't make Clementine a major character because like that would just be kind of confusing.
No, but she can still make a cameo because
Yeah, right. Definitely be in it. Uh, so yeah, The
Wait.
Walking Dead.
Rocket League basketball is out apparently.
Oh, it's out now?
I just went on Twitter for a second and yeah, I'm watching. I think Wario 64 put out a video.
Oh,
oh my God, it's
I
what
need
we're
to
doing on
download.
here.
Yeah, let's go. Sorry, this has
Screw
been
the
episode
screw the
60 of the
podcast.
Game Boy. But yeah, I wrote on here Rocket League basketball mode is available tomorrow, but it's available now. Go play it. Um,
Apparently so.
I can't wait. It just
I don't
seems
know if
so
they're like
interesting.
early access thing or what. So
Speaking of basketball, I'm wearing my Maverick shirt today because it's the day of their funeral, even though they're putting up a good fight against OKC.
well, I'm in the middle of some Sixers drama. So
Wait, what happened with the Sixers? I saw your tweet earlier.
yeah. So I'll talk about it after the podcast.
Okay, because I don't understand.
Yeah.
Let's
Honestly,
see here. What is?
I've basically been lied to, and I'll explain why after.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let me see what the Maverick score is real quick. I just gotta check. Gotta give the update and see what I'm at.
What other sports do you think they could do in Rocket League if they've done
Oh,
basketball
that's a
now?
good question.
They've done.
Can't do.
There's been hockey, right? Like an ice
Yeah,
kind
they
of
did do
thing.
hockey.
Yep, yeah.
I feel like they could do hockey though, like with actual goals though. Like you can go around them.
I would say like rugby, but like I don't.
That'd be hard.
Actually,
Badminton.
what if you did like a? Actually, I don't know, like baseball where like it's a like a severe arena where like you have to drive along the walls and like there are designated goals. Like say like a I don't know though because like you're basically trying to like block the hole like the ball from the baseball going into the hole
Hmm.
and like it's maybe one's like a single or like a home run and stuff and like they're higher up on the sphere and like they're more difficult to defend or even score on. Like I don't know.
It's a cool.
Yeah, I
Jason
mean
says
What Quidditch?
Jason says water polo.
water polo. That's well, I mean, oh, so you can like drive underwater and you like press X just like float to the top.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hmm. I don't know. Like, what other sports are there? Like you could play tennis.
Tennis would be interesting. I don't know how I don't know
Play.
how you integrate it though.
But like,
Because like I feel like you just have to include cars, no matter what. So like,
yeah,
how can they include
like
You could do
like
bowling,
competitive
I suppose. It's
knitting.
like a
wait, volleyball?
volleyball. That
It
would be
like
cool.
Volleyball could work.
it's like you have to like hit your hit your teammate up so they can bump it, and then like someone else hits that same teammate to like spike it or something. I don't.
I don't know. I mean, they could do stuff with it,
We're,
but
we're
I think we're overthinking this.
I'm
Oh,
just
you could do a triathlon.
oh man,
Play an equestrian sport, except it's a car riding a horse.
that would be cool.
I still think Quidditch would be a good idea.
What is that?
From Harry Potter.
Quidditch. Harry Potter.
What is that?
You don't know what Harry Potter is?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Sorry, I'm not a Harry Potter like
I
I've seen like
not a big
half of
fan
one
of
of
it,
the
but
movies.
I figured you'd know who Harry Potter is or what Harry Potter is.
Sorry, I know what Quidditch is now. I just forgot.
Yeah, it's like
I
that.
just I'm not a fan. I don't like it doesn't like ring a bell for me.
I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter, but it put Britain on a map, so I have to be proud of it by nature.
There you go.
Quidditch could be cool, except it'd be hard because you have to be good at flying.
Just like infinite boosters.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and hit this last story. Um, Xbox One sales have reached 18 million, according to a update. Microsoft's Xbox One has sold some 18 million units worldwide since its release in November 2013, according to the chief executive of esports group Gfinity. The unverified statistic would suggest PS4 is outselling Microsoft's third home console on a rough scale of 2 to 1. In January, Sony revealed that PS4 sales had reached 36 million globally.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm on MLB.com right now. So, what were those numbers again?
So Xbox One has sold 18 million units as of, I don't know, whenever the story came out, like last week. And the PS4 has sold 36 million as of January.
Okay.
So a little bit
Yeah,
more than 2 to 1 ratio.
yeah. I mean, we're always getting sales numbers on PS4. Just like, they're bragging about it, but yeah, it's 18 million is definitely awesome. You could definitely foresee. I think they'll definitely crack 20 by the end.
Yeah,
of the
for
year. There's
sure.
no doubt in my mind. I would like to see maybe get 22 million, 21, 22 million. There's Cuphead,
Cuphead.
Sea Thief. Yeah, I watched Cuphead gameplay today. I was like, holy crap,
Cuphead looks so
that looks special.
does.
Yeah, Sea Thieves. They have some serious exclusives. So
Yeah.
it's looking good. And you hate to compare PS4 and Xbox One because like it's just unfair. I mean,
People love to compare them.
I know, but like it's just isn't fair.
I mean, they're both selling great. They're both selling really
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Because like it's just it is an abnormality just how well PS4 is selling. But then don't forget Xbox One is still selling tremendously well as well, like as also. So like it, kind of just repeating what I've said in the past. So I can't add anything else new. But I mean it's awesome. I know Microsoft doesn't like putting out the numbers because it's like, oh well, you're only half a PS4. And it's like, well, it's still selling ridiculously well. 2 years into his life, 2.5 years. So,
Yeah.
wow.
That about wraps up this episode of the Game World Podcast, episode 60. Your weekly dose of lightning in a bottle. The official podcast of thegameworld.com. Post to iTunes every Tuesday, YouTube every Wednesday. Oh, one thing, it's not on iTunes because for some reason, like, there's one YouTube, like, so problem is, let me explain this real quick. So I was editing last week's podcast, and Kyle's audio somehow exported wrong, and then he didn't have the backup, so it was just like a blank audio file.
Oh god! So was it like just
yeah, so there was just like you and Tyler were the only ones talking.
Oh man.
So I just had Jason upload it to YouTube, and then I was gonna just download it off of like a YouTube MP3 thing. but the one that I use, you can only have it be like 30 minutes long, I think, for a video that you can download. So it's not up on iTunes, and I'm not completely sure how to get it on there. Um, so yeah, sorry about that. If you need to listen to last week's episode, go to YouTube. Um, so yeah, if you
It's
have any,
convenient that we have it in more than just iTunes now.
yeah, just like as a backup. Um, so if you have any topics for us, tweet them at us or ask us in stream, and we'll try to get to them. Recent stuff on the site. Our let's see here. Toby wrote the Premier League according to FIFA 16, game week 35.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. So if you like FIFA, go read it.
You football fans.
Yeah.
Whew.
How's Arsenal or
Yeah.
Arsenal, right?
Who was Arsenal?
Aren't you an Arsenal fan? Or
No, I'm a Liverpool fan.
I'm sorry, Liverpool. That's what I meant. I always get the two mixed up. Okay, how are they doing?
Let's move on.
I wasn't quite sure, so honest question, I didn't know.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
we've all got our teams that have their struggles.
It's okay. The basketball team I like is the worst team in the league, so
The basketball team I like is worse than being the worst team in the league because they're in an
that's
endless loop.
Okay, you guys made me feel better, so.
I don't
basically
know.
Grant's team is
My team
they're
is forever
good enough
mediocre.
to make the playoffs, but they're not good enough to win
To
the
win.
championship,
They're not good enough to get past the first round.
and they're not bad enough to get that first pick and get a
Yeah.
star.
So like it's an endless
It's just a
cycle.
loop. Like they're in purgatory.
Cuban keeps trying to beat the NBA by signing all these veterans, but it's not going to work. They got to get the draft at some point. But the problem is that, like, I agree with him on, is you can't rebuild as long as you have Dirk on your team.
He's Dirk.
Yeah, he's Dirk. Dirk is the greatest. He's the best.
He is.
Ryan, do you know who Dirk is?
Dirk Nowitzki.
No.
After we finish recording, look up Dirk Nowitzki. He's going to be great.
He's
Okay.
an
He's a-
international phenom.
He's a German,
a German basketball player who's just the coolest.
the best international player of all time.
You don't really watch basketball over here. We're more.
He's like, I don't know if you've heard the song. It's like Zinedine Zidane, and like they just name a bunch of past and present soccer players. I don't know. I'll have to send you a link of the song, but basically equal to that. He's just like a really popular player.
Okay.
I don't quite know how to explain it.
For my Dirk analysis, follow me on Twitter at GrantRam3. Brett, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Brett Woodmansee, WOODMANSEE.
Ryan.
You can find me at RyanAJ13.
And you can follow the site at _GameBolt. That's all we got for you this week, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Later, guys.
Take care,
Bye.
guys. Ryan, go to bed.
I will, don't worry.
But before, you gotta watch Dirk.
I don't want to watch basketball.
Nah, come
I don't
on.
blame
He
you.
invented the unblockable shot.
I don't blame you.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Can't block it.
I suppose I can stop this audacity now, yeah?
Yeah.
As Kevin Durant once said, what's the hardest thing about Dirk is that he's a 7-footer who shoots one-legged fadeaways. Yeah.
Goat.